Go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who've passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're with us this evening, and thank you, Reverend Sue, for being here. Elizabeth, you're muted.
Do that every single time. Thank you, Reverend Sue, for being here. And also thank all of you for being here. It's so funny. I've had a very busy day, but that's no excuse. So I just wanted to first read her very short bio. I did say before I started the recording that she is an honorary board member of Helping Parents Heal. And I don't know of any honorary board member who takes that job as seriously as Sue does. She is so wonderful. She is so devoted to all of the parents of Helping Parents Heal. She is constantly wanting to find out how to do more. In fact, she was just asking us if she could do more meditations, more things at the conference because she wants to help as much as possible. But let's go ahead and just hear a little bit about her. Again, she just had an eye operation as well, but she's doing very well. And here she is tonight helping us out. She is an ordained Unity Minister, Master Numerologist, Soul Regression Therapist, and Intuitive Coach. She is clairaudient. She channels messages and prayers from the angelic realm and receives wisdom from guides to help people heal from the passing of a loved one and find purpose. She uses sacred numerology and mystical information in her books and teachings. She is the author of 11 books, including Angel Up, The Angel's Guide to Ascension, Through a Divine Lens, Practices to Quiet Your Ego and Align with Your Soul, Bridges to Heaven, True Stories of Loved Ones on the Other Side, I See Your Dream Job, and the Sacred Numerology Workbook. So this is before she and the Sacred Numerology Workbook actually has come out in a new edition that has so much more information. I'm sure that Sue will want to tell you a little bit about that. It's kind of exciting because it was already so much fun to be able to find out about all of our friends and family when we know what their numbers are, but now we even know more. So without further ado, please join me and Irene on this beautiful holiday evening in welcoming Reverend Sue Frederick. Welcome, Sue.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't tell you how happy I am to be with all of you. I swear, being with you HPH people is the highest frequency group of souls on earth. I've said this a million times, and it's true, because all of you have agreed to have an accelerated lifetime, which means you came in determined to wake up to your higher self while still walking on earth. That is a very ascended master path for all of you. And of course, grief is our greatest spiritual teacher, even though it's no fun at all. And I honor the pain journey of it for all of you. And I don't mean to in any way diminish that pain, but your soul made a plan to help you awaken. And so as we move into this holiday season, I know from remembering my own grief journey way back in the 80s that the holidays can really be painful, really be difficult when we're missing our beautiful loved ones. However, I have some really good news for all of you. The good news is that the angels have been writing to me all day, telling me what to tell you all. They've given me to-do lists that I'm going to read, and they've given me 10 points to tell you about how to move into this new energy. So, as I've said a lot in my teachings, 2025 has been a 9-year ending, according to numerology, a 9 universal year, which means 9 is the number of ultimate surrender, of hard lessons, but stepping into grace, compassion, forgiveness, of making a bridge to the higher realms. So in 2025, many of us have felt a lot of disappointment, perhaps in things, a lot of grief, a lot of inner pain, heartbreak. That's kind of the energy of 9. It's calling us to let go of who we no longer are going to be as we move into the new. And guess what, people? The new energy of 2026 is beginning now, and it really kicks in next week, January, but we already feel it. We feel that we're turning the corner. So I just want to say to all of you, the first step that the angels gave me in their to-do list today was for all of us to forget about 2025, to have spiritual amnesia, to say, I don't even remember what happened in that year, and just let it go. Because now the one energy comes in and the one says, take a breath, recenter. Now we are creating the lives and the world that we want to see here, filled with open-hearted courage, compassion, love, forgiveness, and goodness. And all of us finding our way forward, even when you're in your darkest moments of grief. Your soul still has a plan. Your soul is still here on purpose. You still have something important that you agreed to do here. So let the one energy of 2026 just fill you up with a whole new hope, with a sense of rebirth, with a sense of renewal, because one is the energy of the divine spark of awakening consciousness. And you are all the leaders, the teachers in this. I know that if you're in your grief, sometimes you don't feel that way. I work with so many of you as my clients, and I know that you'll tell me, why are you telling me that I can be this great person or do all these things? I feel like I can't get out of bed. Well, that's okay. That's your human self. And our human selves are always going to feel the heaviness of this earth life, the pain of grief, the pain of doubt, of self-doubt. But our higher souls are always filling us with a different perspective. And when you chose to come into this earth life, you squeezed your beautiful soul down into the earth body that you're wearing right now, down into the earth story that you're walking through. But your higher soul always stayed in heaven, always stayed connected to the God source, filled with unconditional love, filled with divine spark and wisdom and life. And that's where we go now in our meditations, in our prayers. I'll take you there later tonight in our meditation, to really breathe in the presence of our own higher soul that is always trying to help us remember you are all truly divine light beings. That is your essence. Look at this angel here behind me. We are all beings of light and love. We cover it up with a human body. We make it feel dense and heavy with a human story that we carry. But that's not true. What's true is you all are all divine beings of love and light, greater than any circumstance, any grief, any loss that could come your way. So in 2026, you're being being called to step up to your own sacred divine self, greater than you've ever done before. And in the to-do list that the angels gave me to tell you for 2026, they said point number one was spiritual amnesia, forget 2025. Number two was use the angels every day, because the angels are next to you, standing beside you every day of your life. And when you let them lift you, when you allow them to love on you. They're always loving on you, but our human minds will block it sometimes. Sometimes we're angry at the world, or we're deep in our pain, which is okay. It's part of the human journey. But that will kind of keep us from realizing that these beautiful divine beings are with us. Just close your eyes with me right now and feel. Just say, angels, lift me, love me, help me, heal me, and just breathe into that sweetness. This is your go-to help in 2026. You're not going to ignore the angels. You're not going to forget about them. You're not going to dismiss them. You're going to say, oh, now I remember. They are my greatest helpers. They love me endlessly and unconditionally. They are part of the God source, and they wrap me in so much love that I can rise above whatever pain I'm experiencing and step fully into my sacred, courageous heart and move forward. Courage of the heart is one of the greatest gifts of the human heart, and we all have it. And do you know that courage, the root word for it in Latin is heart? So when you're feeling courageous to move forward, it means you're tapping into your heart, opening your heart, allowing yourself to feel the love that's coming to you from the angels and flowing out of you to the world. Now you're filled with courage. So remember, in 2026, you're talking to the angels, you're listening to them, you're allowing them to open your heart and fill you with courage. The third point, which I love that the angels gave me today to tell you, they said, laugh more, talk less. I love it because it reminds me of that line from the musical Hamilton. Remember where Aaron Burr says to Hamilton, smile more, talk less to Hamilton. Well, the angels said to us, laugh more, talk less. And what they're saying about that is let the joy of laughter connect us. That's what our beloved children want us to do, our departeds. They want us to just let go for a moment of our sadness, of our grief, of our struggles, have open-hearted laughter, connect with that laughter, because it is one of the highest frequencies of love, of joy on earth. So make sure you have friends. I know Christmas and holidays can be hard, but find people to laugh with, whether they're your best friends or whether you have certain family members. I know that when I was raising my daughter, I told her, if you ever want to get whatever you want from me, just make me laugh. It's the secret key. And she learned that really well. She's hysterically funny. So find people who are very, very funny, who can make you laugh. Because it opens the heart. Go see a comedy, watch a comedy movie, use laughter to open your heart moving through the holidays. Then their fourth point was, you may feel lonely, but every time you begin to feel that, instead, close your eyes and go, angels, are you with me or am I alone? And breathe in. And you're going to hear the voices of an angel whispering to you, saying, I'm with you. I love you. I promise you. If you let yourself feel that through the heart, that's what they're telling you. You are never alone, especially in these holidays. Even if you're a single mom or, really deep into your grief and pain, you are never alone. Even if you never leave your house, the angels are with you. They are loving on you. They're nurturing you. And you might get a thought that says, hey, make yourself some soup. And that's a silly thought. And you go, soup, why? I'm not sick. Well, the angels are trying to nurture you. They're saying, go drink something hot and warm and hold it in your hands, because these are the ways that humans lift our energy. We drink something warm and cozy. We watch something that makes us laugh. This is what your beautiful children want for you. And when you do that, you can feel your children then right beside you. And they're saying, all is well, Mom. All is well, Dad. And they're sitting there on the couch laughing with you during that movie. And they're telling you they love the sound of your laughter. Yes, I've had so many departed children that I've worked with on the other side saying, I want to hear your laughter. I want to hear you laugh more, Mom. So every time you laugh, you're calling in the angels and you're calling in your beautiful children. And the final point that they had was quit focusing on the details of earth life. You'll never get it perfect. Forget about it. And instead, focus on the perfection of the heavenly realms. And I asked the angels, how do people do that here? And they said, even if it's freezing outside, find a way to walk outside for a moment, look up at the sky. Even if it's freezing cold, the sky will call you into your higher self, remind you of the perfection of heaven, the perfection of nature. That's where you'll find the perfection that we're all seeking here, but we're seeking it in the wrong places in the human realms. You can't make the perfect Christmas dinner. You can't give the perfect gifts. You can't make your body perfect, but you can align with your perfect soul and with the perfect angels that are here to help us. So remember that one energy kicks in and it says, plant the seeds for who you want to be in 2026 and beyond. Plant the seeds for what your great work will be. And I know that many of you have retired or you don't have a career, but you have great work to do. And that could be that you take one of our classes. Many of the HPH teachers teach everything from Shelley Wilson teaches Reiki, Suzanne Giesemann teaches mediumship, Dr. Linda Bachman teaches soul regression. I teach numerology and angel classes. Just find a class in 2026, even if your human mind is saying, I don't want to be an energy healer. You just go, that's okay, human mind. Go sit over there and have a cookie. I'm just going to go study these things that lift my energy and get me moving on a different path. That's the energy of the one, courage of the heart to try these new things. And of course, to do that, you have to quiet your human mind. I've taught meditation for 20 years, and I can tell you if there's one thing you need to do in 2026 to shift the frequency, it's quiet your mind with meditation. And there's many different ways to meditate. I love all of them, but one of my favorites is using sacred mantra. And if you do yoga or you practice meditation in a yoga studio, they've probably taught you some of those mantras like Om or Om Namah Shivaya. They're just a very high frequency little sacred words that connect us to God. So you just repeat them with your eyes closed. Om or Om Namah Shivaya, or you can say the Lord's Prayer if you're more comfortable with that. Just repeat it over and over, and your mind will jump in and go, wait a minute, you have things to think about, you have things to worry about. And you just say, thank you, mind, go sit over there. I'm just focusing on this mantra. And the more you do that for 10 minutes, the mind settles down and you feel connected to your higher soul, to your beautiful children, to the angels. All the good stuff lives beyond the human mind, the human monkey mind, and we can get there quick through meditation, through talking and listening to the angels. In my angel books, I offer angel writing prompts to you. And I do them whenever I'm feeling upset, and I'll just open the angel journal and it says, And there'll be a prompt that today it said, Angels, tell me what I need to know today. Pick up your pen and start writing what they tell you. And you just pick up your pen and write, Angels, what do I need to know today? And let your pen keep going and it'll just flow through you. And you'll be blown away because they will tell you something so specific and pertinent to what's going on in your life. I've had students ask me and say, my angels are talking to me about my job. Are they really supposed to be that specific? I'm like, yes, they're showing you that they're with you every day and they see whatever's going on at work and they're giving you advice about moving through problems and pain. So use that kind of channeled writing to help you. And finally, and I'll leave you with this, and then we're going to go in and do our meditation. But I'll also ask if anybody has any questions before we do that. But finally, remember that the buzzword of the 1 year of 2026 is courage, of finding your way to move past your doubt, your fear, your pain, your grief, and stepping up as your soul intended in this lifetime. To be the loving, profound healer helper for all those who are now struggling, who you are capable of helping, even if it's through a conversation, even if it's through sending them healing love. You're not walking this journey just for your own soul's growth. You're walking it to be able to turn around and help and heal everyone with what you've learned. So that's the beautiful message from our angels for 2026. And I'm going to take you on a meditation to talk to them yourself. But are there any questions before we go and do that?
It doesn't look like there are any questions, but it's funny because we have two people who were craving soup today. So obviously, when you're talking about the soup, that's kind of funny. Sharon is saying I made chicken soup second day.
Very good.
I don't know if you have any questions. Feel free to put them in the chat box. We have a little bit of time before Sue starts, but if not, then we can keep going and
And
do
and
that.
also, you guys, I just want you to know that, when you hear those little nudges, whether it's go make some soup or go for a walk outside, listen to them because we're all talking ourselves out of doing these things all day when it's the angels and our departed loved ones trying to show us how to move forward. And, I always joke that Paul comes in, my husband who crossed in 1980. He's truly one of my soul teachers because whenever I'm acting pitiful, I'll hear Paul's voice really giving me specific instructions about what I need to do to lift my energy up, just so I can open my heart again. And we've talked before about gratitude, just take a breath and look at your sunshine in the window or look at your cozy pillow that you have on your bed or whatever it is you can feel grateful for. That's a beautiful way to open the heart and to allow spirit to help you to feel the angels loving you, to feel your beautiful children beside you. Don't ever think for a moment that your children have left you, especially at the holidays. They are with you every single moment. And, the time and space continuum is what confuses us because I work with so many people who think, well, my child has moved on, or it's been so long since my loved one crossed that I'm sure they've moved on. That is never true. That's what the human linear mind wants to tell you. What the quantum physicists always teach is that time and space is not linear. It's happening all at once. We just can't get our mind to function that way. We have a linear left brain, and so we see time in a timeline. However, like Paul, he crossed in 1980 and yes, he's evolving. He's a teacher in the higher realms. He's shown me what his job is, and he may have also incarnated into another lifetime, but his higher soul always lives in the heavenly realms and comes to me when I need guidance. That's how our soul posses are always connected, even if we're in different lifetimes. Our souls are always connected. I know that's a hard thing for our logic minds to understand, but you know that it's true. You know that your child is always connected to you, soul to soul. They are your greatest teacher, your greatest love, and your most powerful angel at your side.
That's beautiful, Sue. Oh my goodness. And I still don't see any questions. Oh, Amber just
Yes,
asked a
Amber has
question.
one.
Yes. How does personal year dovetail or relate to universal year? So I'm
Thank you.
going into a 9 personal year and it will be a 9 universal year. So
Yeah,
maybe you could
a
explain.
one.
Well, it's a one universal year, but is Amber saying that she's going into a nine personal year? Because I can't read the chat with
Yeah.
my eyes.
Yes, I know. So yeah, she's going into a 9 personal year, but
Okay.
it's a 1 universal year.
Right, right. I'm so glad you asked because it's so funny. I've worked with so many people who've been in a nine personal year this year while the universe is going through a nine universal year, and they have had a very rough time. And that even includes my beautiful husband, Gene, who's been in a nine personal year, a nine universal year. Trust me, that's a really tough go this year. But Amber, the good answer to your question, beautiful Amber, I love you, is that the fact that you're going into a 9 year when the universe is really stepping up, it won't be nearly as hard. You've already had to let go of so much in 2025. You've already had to let go of old career stuff. I've watched you walk through that. So when you step into 2026, your nine personal year brings you into culmination of everything you've learned in the last 9 years, meaning the books are out, the videos, the TV shows, the documentaries getting done, all of that falls in your nine personal year of culmination and completion. And meanwhile, the one universal energy says, and you're going to move forward as one of the great soul teachers here. So don't worry, it's going to be a really good combo. Much better than if you'd just been in your 9 year.
Good answer. So Debbie's asking what a personal year is. Maybe you could just very quickly give
Yeah.
a
So
overview.
you all, I love sacred numerology, and if you don't know anything about it, I'll just quickly tell you that when Paul died, I was turning 30, and he died young of colon cancer, and it was devastating to me because I wasn't spiritually awakened at that point, and I was so angry at the universe that this young, beautiful man could die of colon cancer and suffer so much. And why was I still here? What was I supposed to do now? And those are the great questions that we all ask when we're facing the crisis in our life of grief. And so numerology was the only thing that helped me understand why. And I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to ask why until I'm blue in the face, until I find an answer that resonates as true. And numerology is a gift from the angels. I use Pythagoras numerology. He created our number system back in 580 BC. And numerology says, here's your soul mission. This is what you came to do. And here's your departed loved one's soul mission. Here's what they came to accomplish. Here's your soul agreement together. And here's how to move forward. In 1 hour, a numerologist answered all of that for me when I was 30 years old. And I couldn't believe it because it really felt like, wow, I'm finally understanding how this could all be happening because I don't believe anything on earth is random. And that divine order lesson was the first lesson Paul taught me when he crossed, because he was blown away by divine order as his soul lifted out of his body. So he came right back to show me every little thing that happens here has a reason for higher good, for higher purpose. And it's not random, it's not tragic, even when our human mind wants to see it that way. And so numerology helps you see that bigger divine order. It helps you remember the soul path you came to accomplish. Now, there's also astrology and many other arts that help you remember that. Numerology happens to be the one that speaks to me, that I can easily just download and help people with. And that's what I do in my sessions with clients. But also, I wrote this really fun Sacred Numerology workbook, and I updated it with a lot of information. It's on Amazon. The Kindle version is now free. I finally got that all working for me. I've struggled with the technology of all this, but the second edition is now also on Kindle on Amazon, and it's free. So you can go there to begin to understand how the numbers work. And also my website, SueFrederick.com, has a free soul path calculator. So anybody can go to SueFrederick.com, click on soul path calculator, input your date of birth, and you'll get all the information. And then you look it up in the workbook to see what it means.
Thank you. That's wonderful. So, yes, so this is the second edition of the Sacred Numerology Workbook, and
Oh,
it does have so much more information. And
thank you.
it became a bestseller almost immediately as well. And
Yeah.
I must say that you had an incredible interview with Suzanne Eastman right
Yes.
before this happened as well. And you
Yes.
two are kind of soul sisters, from what
Yes.
I understand
It was
from
so
the
wonderful,
interview.
yes, connecting with Suzanne Giesman, and she read for me and I read for her. And it was just delightful because, she didn't really know she was in a nine. By the way, that's a good example. Suzanne was in a nine personal year during the nine universal year. She's had a heck of a year, and she's now moved and everything. And as I was doing the numbers for her, I said, I didn't know what was going on in her life. And I said, you're in a nine personal year and a nine universal year. It's time to clean out the closet, get rid of what you don't want, and just move on. And she goes, that's what I'm literally doing. I'm packing and moving. So that's how the nine personal year affects us. It's the end of a cycle. And I love Suzanne, and she gave me a fabulous reading in return. It was amazing.
Well, and that's so much fun to hear about because that interview was so interesting. And
Yeah.
I know that there are lots and lots of people that watched it. And
Yeah.
so as
And then, by the way, they're the ones who told me I needed to update the workbook, because when I first created that numerology workbook, I did it so that people who were kind of in my classes, or watching my videos could like do the calculations. I wasn't intending it as a here's your introduction to everything you need to know about numerology. And I called it a workbook, thinking, okay, well, it's just really about using it, to further your information. And all the Suzanne's people went and bought the workbook, and they were going, I don't understand this. There's not enough information. And I went, whoa, it's time to put everything I know about numerology into that workbook. So right before my first cataract surgery, I was working like a mad woman to get it all rewritten and uploaded. And I got it done, so all of you can now go and just read everything that I've learned about numerology in that workbook. Phew, glad that's over with.
pretty fascinating to listen to Sue and tell when she tells about different people based on their date of birth and their birth, obviously, what their personal year is, and combined
Life is
with
so
what.
much more fun when you understand a person's birth path, because it helps you understand their motivation, what their soul is trying to learn. And we each express it differently. We each have different challenges and gifts. But the path that I'm on, it means I came here to learn and accomplish a certain thing. So all my actions, when people go, wow, why does Sue write 11 books? Well, she's on this 22-4 birth path, so she just can't stop working. And guess who else is on it? Somebody you all love, Farah Gibson. And Farah has written more books than me, and she's a 22-4.
That's amazing. Well, I think that you guys are pretty much tied in terms of how many books you've written, um, But this is really good information. And again, you now have it on Kindle as well, so it's
Yeah.
downloadable for people on Kindle,
Yes.
which is
Well, they
exciting.
can't Amazon won't let them download it, but they can buy it for free and then read it on their phone or read it on a Kindle or read it on their computer.
Okay, yeah. I think that once you buy it for free, it just allows you to download it though right away.
Yeah, yeah.
To
You can
your
get it right away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, you may not believe in any of this right now, but I would say give it a try and
Yeah.
see.
And
Um,
it's a fun thing to do when your family is home for the holidays. You know, you can say, hey, this is a silly thing to do, but let's figure out what all of our birth paths are and read about them in this book. I mean, my kids have grown up with that and they think they've tried to poo-poo it, but guess who comes to ask me for advice about their birth path and their personal years? The kids.
well, and there's no one that has given me a more incredible idea of everyone in my family based on
Oh,
the
well, guess what a leaks is? That same energy of 22-4 of getting it done, of working
so
hard.
funny. You keep saying 22-4. This year is my 22-4, and
Oh,
I think it's so interesting because this has been an incredibly hard year.
yes. Well, four is hard in meaning that there's a lot of work to be done that we agree to do. But the 22 calls us to shift it up to the higher consciousness. And when you look at your daughter, Alix, my daughter, Sarah, they're both on the 22-4. Both of them are so accomplished in very different ways, but so accomplished. And, you know, when people tell me, oh, you've accomplished so much, I'm like, no, I've never gotten it done the way I want to get it done. That's how 22s always feel. It's like, I'm not getting enough done. And
Well,
so
I'm not
we,
at 22-4, although Nadia Lauren is, and she is one of our affiliate leaders. This is my 22-4
for
year.
a year, right,
So
right.
it's a little different, I would assume.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but again, if this interests all of you, please make sure that you take a look at this information that Sue has now made available for anyone on Amazon. And I also think that one of the things about this is that it allows us to realize that there's a bigger picture besides just this day-to-day
Just this life.
logging through that we
Yeah.
think that we're that's happening. It's actually much more important than that. So
That we all have a soul plan and that it agrees that we agreed to travel through it, but we also agreed to keep trying, to keep opening our heart, even when it gets hard. And the numbers remind us of that and they call us back to our higher selves.
beautiful. Yes. And so we probably should start the meditation if you'd like to, because it's already 40 minutes after the hour. Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
So do you want to try your music and see if
Yes, I
that works?
will.
Okay.
Good thought there. I'll go ahead and do that right now. So we
All
have
right.
a little bit of technical difficulty sometimes on here. Do you hear that?
Yeah, that works for me. Does that work for you all?
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Okay. All right, good. All right, so everybody, I'm going to do this so that when you look at the screen, you can just focus on this angel and you can, whoops, you can listen to the beautiful music that Elizabeth has put on for us. And sorry. Okay, and now I want you to just take 3 deep breaths with me. Inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3. And now you feel and see a gorgeous healing purple light above your head. This purple light represents full alignment with your higher soul, the part of you that has always lived in the heavenly realms, always been filled with unconditional love, always filled with sacred wisdom, as this purple light moves down through your human self, it reminds every cell, bone, muscle, and tissue of your body that you are a divine being of light, greater than any pain or circumstance that comes your way. So as you breathe in this purple healing energy, it quiets your mind. You feel your thoughts slowing. Your forehead softens. Your eyes relax. Your facial muscles relax. No longer need to speak all the human words that we say every day just to survive here. Letting all of that go. The jaw relaxes. The throat opens wide to remind us that the soul is the only voice that we want to speak from in our earth lives. And now the shoulders drop, releasing the burden of the human journey, all the struggles we've had, letting them roll off of our shoulders because our higher soul is capable of clearing and healing everything we struggle with. Let it go. This higher soul bath of love, of wisdom, continues pouring down through you. You feel it now, healing every muscle, every cell, every organ and bone of your physical body, realigning you with the part of yourself that has always lived in perfect health and love in the heavenly realms. There is no illness, no pain, no injury in the higher realms. And so your higher soul reminds you now that you have always been and always will be a perfect being of light. And as the purple healing moves down, it flushes out any remaining physical tension, trauma, illness, or injury that your body holds on to. You feel it washing out through the bottoms of your feet. Let it go. And in this inhale now, you see the golden light of God's love pouring through you. You are basking in that golden light. You see it emanating from every pore of your body. All your worries are gone. All of your pain is washed away. You are the free angel being that you've always been, lifting up now out of the human body, rising up above your human life. Oh, letting go of the pain, the grief, the doubt that only lives in the human realms. Your soul is free. And as you rise up these 10 stairs of light, you know you're about to join your child. So in total love and joy, we rise up the 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you move through the tunnel of light that you've walked through between every lifetime. Its only purpose is to cleanse you of any earth trauma that you may be holding on to. Let it go. And as you walk forward in the tunnel, look who you see standing in the light at the end of the tunnel. It's your beautiful child looking completely aligned with their higher soul, filled with love, joy, happiness, and healing. Maybe looking happier than you ever remember that seeing them on earth. And their arms are wide open to you. And we move towards them through the tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, feel them wrapping their arms around you. They're in perfect health, perfect joy. They're pulling you out into the circle of stone benches in the gorgeous light of the heavenly realms. As you sit in these benches, getting oriented to the light, to the unconditional love that flows in these realms. It's like breathing very refined oxygen. You take a breath of it. It's exhilarating. And now your children are right in front of you and next to you, hugging you, kissing you. They are ageless and timeless, but they will take the form that you recognize as as your child. Feel their love, kiss their head, kiss their hair, smell them. They are bringing it back to all of your senses that they are with you. Ask them to laugh and listen to their laughter. And now laugh with them. This is what they love, the joyful connection. And as you look into their eyes, soul to soul, ask them this question: are you still with me? And watch them, listen to them, feel them answer you. Receive it. And say, if you're with me, let me feel you, or smell you, or hear you, or see you, or know that it's you. Receive it now. Hear that incredible tone they're giving us, high frequency tone, to show us that yes, they are with us, that they are showing us the duality of their existence right now, able to hug you, but living in the high frequency of the heavenly realms. And now they're saying, come on, I'm going to walk with you and show you what it's like up here. So they're taking you arm in arm. You're a little bit woozy because the air is so thin and pure and the beauty is so vibrant around you. Look at the forest, the trees, the flowers, the mountains. Everything shimmers with the high frequency of love here. The God particle is saturated in every moment of this world. And your child is laughing, going, see, I'm not missing anything on earth because I have this world to be in. And they're showing you that you can be in this world with them whenever you choose to quiet the mind and join them in meditation like this. And they're taking you to show you their friends. So many friends are showing up, nodding to you. Some of them you recognize from already meeting them in spirit and in body. They're seeing, see, I'm not alone. And we have a job now. So look at your child and say to their eternal soul, what is your job? What do you do here? And listen and receive their answer. Let it come to you however it comes. And now say, take me, show me where you work. They may be taking you to the healing pools where they help souls who've crossed over in trauma suddenly, who may find themselves disoriented. Often it's the young children who greet the young children when they cross because it's so comforting, and they bring them to these healing pools to float with them, to swim with them, to play in these healing waters because it is so beautiful. There are waterfalls, and the waterfalls lead up to pools that lead to more waterfalls. It is such a gorgeous place. You have been here before. Your child has brought you here before. Bask in it now. Feel the water holding you up. Swimming next to your child, laughing, splashing the water. Standing underneath the waterfall. The waterfall washes away any earth memories that are painful. They're telling you that when they crossed, they came here to have any painful memories from earth washed away. And they bring you here at night to help you let go of any painful earth memories. And now they're saying, come on, we're going to take you to some more fun places here. And they're taking you to where they gather now when they're sending healing love to the earth realm. They all gather together here when the earth needs help, especially when there's a trauma happening on earth, a war, or a group event that's painful. The children gather here because they're such angelic spirits, and they sit in a circle and send love to the earth world. They're asking you to sit with them now, holding hands, eyes closed, with all the children as angels, sending glorious healing love to every city, every state, every country on earth where there is any suffering, any struggle. The children are sending love, especially where children might be afraid or suffering. These children angels go right to their side and make them laugh, make them feel loved and safe. And they're showing you how they do it. And they're showing you that they go to parents also. When parents are grieving children, they go right to their side to bring them signs, to comfort them, to make them laugh. And now you're understanding how you've been given so many signs. It's not just your child, it's all of these children that are angels coming to help you together all at once. You can thank them now and tell them now you know where it comes from. And now your child is just walking with you, arm in arm, just saying, Mom, look at the beauty. There's a beach here. Do you see that sunset? It's so beautiful. It reminds me of being with you in nature, at the beach, in a sunset. Just know that I'm with you. Just know that these moments are perpetual and eternal. You haven't lost these moments. They live on now as living moments. And your child is bringing you into a favorite memory that you shared with them to show you that it still exists. It's still there. And now your children are saying to you that this Christmas, this holiday season is no different from being up here with them, because they're bringing these moments of love, of healing, of light, of memory into your life on earth. The time and space continuum flowing back and forth between the realms. So that whenever you get a little sad at holidays, you just come back here. It just takes a quick breath, and you're sitting next to them at the beach. You're sitting next to them in the kitchen. You're baking with them. You're going for a walk in nature, all happening here as well. Now they're walking you back to the tunnel, and they're looking into your soul eyes before you turn and return to your earth body. They're saying, Mom, Dad, look at me. Remember, this is the real world, not that earth world you're in. Always look up, look here for your truth, for your connection. And we bring it to you there. But here, you come with us and feel it in all of your body, mind, and soul. This is real. And you're kissing them and saying, I understand. I'll remember. And now you turn and walk back through the tunnel of light, but you're happy now because you know they're with you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down the 10 stairs of light back into your earth body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath back into your earth body. Breathe it in. Again. As you come back into your earth body, hold on to that sacred knowingness that you live in the divine world with your child while you're also walking this earth world. And so it is. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Oh my
Thank you,
goodness.
Sue. Even without the music, it was beautiful.
It was definitely healing and uplifting, and I feel like I'm ready to start um, getting ready to get on a plane right now, which is what I'm going to do right now, and meditate some more, which will be wonderful. But thank you all for being with us. It was so nice to be able to connect with our kids and to find out what they're doing and to spend time with them and to spend time with you as well. Sue, it's always so wonderful. So thank you for doing this. We always
I love you all. And don't forget that world is real and you can go there anytime. I love you all.
thank you. Thank you, Sue, for being here. And
Thanks, everyone. And we always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
beautiful.
My
Thank you.
goodness.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good night.
thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
You.
sweethearts.
Beautiful.
Love
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye,
Sue.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, we love you. Bye bye.
Bye.